So, Spy Kids, I want to tell you about what happened after superhero granddad and grandmother rescued the Spy Kids from the flooded tunnels. Superhero granddad, he was driving his school bus back to Maryland. Of course, you know he had to go through China, and then he had to go through India too. So you Spy Kids have probably never been to India. Well, here's the thing about India. There's millions and millions and millions of people. So he's driving his bus through India, and of course some of these people, they don't have cars, and they can't have a bus tickets, and they have no way to get from one place to another except that they walk. So they see the school bus coming, so every time the school bus stops, there's hundreds of people. They climb onto the school bus and they hang onto the sides and they get on the roof and they start hitching a ride. Well, that's okay, because you know Superhero Granddad, he's a very kind man, so he's giving them a ride. And what he's doing is he's going all over India giving people rides. In India, they don't have like a lot of traffic, malls and gas stations like we do. So when it came time to sleep, they had to pull over to the side of the road and make a camp. So Superhero Granddad, he's there camping with hundreds of people. And so he decides to take a look around. And they were in this place that was kind of like they had a forest there. So he's walking around exploring the forest, and all of a sudden, whoa! He comes straight across a huge Bengal tiger. And it weighs about 400 pounds, and it doesn't like Superhero Granddad. In fact, it wants to eat Superhero Granddad. So Superhero Granddad, he's very, very afraid, because he knows how powerful these animals are. And so all of a sudden the Bengal tiger, he starts charging at Superhero Granddad. And Superhero Granddad's like, whoa, what am I going to do? And so at the last minute he stuck out his hands like this, and he poked the Bengal tiger right in the eyes. And the Bengal tiger is blind. It can't see anymore. So Superhero Granddad thinks, well, that's easy. Now I can escape. Well, but here's the problem. Bengal tiger can still smell Superhero Granddad, so it keeps following him and getting closer and closer and closer. So then what Superhero Granddad, he remembers from reading in school, because the best thing you can do is study very hard when you're in school. He remembers that the tigers, they only eat meat. They won't touch a salad or a vegetable. So Superhero Granddad, he had a big bowl of salad for lunch. And the salad had broccoli and kale and spinach and carrots and tomatoes. So when the Bengal tiger got real close, he went like this, and he breathed on the Bengal tiger. And the Bengal tiger thought, well, that's not a person, that's a salad. I'm not interested in a salad. And so then he's turned around and started going the other way. And Superhero Granddad, he made his escape back to the camp. And so then they all got back into the bus and they started driving again. And they were driving this one family back to their home. And they were so nice and so appreciative that they gave Superhero Granddad their pet. And their pet was a baby mongoose. And a mongoose is a kind of animal over there in India. And they fight snakes. And they're very quick. And so it was a cute little mongoose, and Superhero Granddad, he loved it. And he's very kind to it and gave it water and food and kept it in his pocket. And so then they go to a big city, and there was a market there. And so Superhero Granddad, he looks and says, boy, they're selling baskets there. I'm going to get a nice big basket for Superhero Grandmother, because she loves baskets, and maybe she can put it on her bicycle. So that's exactly what he did. He bought a beautiful basket with a beautiful lid on it, and he took it back to the school bus. And so he's sitting on the side, outside of the school bus on the side, while the other people there are hundreds of people there that are going to get back on the bus. So he's waiting for them. And so he takes the lid off of the basket, and whoa! There's this huge cobra snake inside. And the cobra snake comes up like this and And Superhero Granddad doesn't know what to do, because he knows they're poisonous, and he could get bitten and die. But then he remembers that super nice family had given him a mongoose, so he takes the mongoose out of his pocket and he puts the mongoose there, and the mongoose attacks the snake. And the mongoose, he's toying with the snake, and he's so quick, and the snake's going tss, and the mongoose is going this way and that way, and then finally what happens is the mongoose grabs this snake with his very sharp teeth by the neck there, and he kills the cobra. So boy, Superhero Granddad was so appreciative to that family, and then he got back on the bus, and they started driving around some more. And they drove a lot of people on and they had some wonderful adventures, and they went all over India, and they saw the beautiful scenery and the landscape and the beautiful clothes the people make. And then the next night they set up camp again. And so Superhero Granddad, he's really tired after a couple of days on the road like this, and he goes to sleep. Well, then in the middle of the night he hears all of this noise, and the wind starts picking up and rustling, and the trees are shaking and everything. And the people from India, they come and wake him up, and they said, we need your help, there's a cyclone coming. And a cyclone over there, it's what we call a hurricane here, and it's very, very dangerous. So Superhero Granddad, he has a great idea, because he needs to save these hundreds of people. So they all get onto the school bus, and he turns it into a submarine. And then they drive up to the ocean, and then they drive into the ocean. And so what happens underwater, the cyclone doesn't affect underwater, it just affects the land and the trees and everything. So the people, they'd never been in a submarine before, and they're really enjoying it. And they look out the windows, and they can see whales and big fish and sunken treasure. And they just stay under there just driving around, and big plants and seaweed. And they stay underwater for 24 hours. And so then they finally decide to come back out and see if the cyclone's going, and it was. And so they pull up on dry land, and they all get out, and everybody's kissing the ground and kissing and hugging one another. And then they make a big banquet, and they have this curry and rice, and it's delicious. And everybody has a big festival, and are thanking Superhero Granddad. So Superhero Granddad, he needs a real rest after that.